Unsolved Mysteries. Out of deference to people who may still be living, character names in some of these true unsolved mysteries have been changed. Tonight's unsolved mystery deals with the efforts of a man long dead who returned from the beyond to atone for an act of carelessness that cost the lives of 50 persons. It is a tale told by many a railroad man when winds are high and rushing torrents test the strength of trestle bridges. The scene is the observation car on one of America's cracked trains. A group of people lay aside their cards to listen to an argument between two men. One a doctor, the other a world traveler. The doctor pauses to light his cigar as the train thunders over a suspension bridge.
I'm sorry, old man, to appear stubborn on the point, but in all my experiences as a doctor, I've never known of a single instance in which anyone has returned from the grave either for love or for hate.
But surely you're not going to ignore the findings of other people just because you yourself never had any experience?
We doctors are practical men. We have to be. Our patients' lives depend upon our diagnosis of things as they are. And as we find them, not as we'd like to have them or as someone else believes.
At the same time, Doctor, you've certainly heard of cases where even doctors have declared their patients dead, only to have them return to life again.
I deny that they returned to life. They merely were not dead.
Then the doctor who declared the patient dead was wrong.
Yes.
So that you admit that doctors are not always right. And these doctors who insist that there is nothing after death are just as liable to be wrong on that score as there are in other instances. In other words, doctor, the man who says, I won't believe what I can't see or feel or weigh, is merely an egoist who considers that no one's opinion is worthwhile but his own.
That's pretty strong, isn't it?
I don't think it is. You as a doctor are called in to diagnose a case. And you've never had a case of scarlet fever before, we'll say. But you can diagnose it, can't you?
Certainly.
It's simply because you're relying upon the experience of other doctors. Yet you refuse to accept the experiences of others outside your own profession. And that's a perfectly good argument, but not for ghosts. Ghosts are things very often heard of, but very seldom seen. I'll believe in one when I see one. There are, 14 people in this observation car, and not one of them ever saw a ghost.
I'm sorry, but I'll have to contradict you on that.
Really?
Well.
You've actually seen a ghost?
I have.
You spoke to it? You know it wasn't an hallucination?
I wasn't alone. At least 10 other people saw it.
That could be a simple case of mass hypnotism.
You think that simple is the word to use in connection with mass hypnotism? However, let that pass. I didn't know it was a ghost until some time afterwards, so I wasn't influenced by anything.
Well, let's hear about it.
What's that?
All right. I might as well explain that I'm one of the officers of this railroad line. And one night, several members of the board of directors were on the same run, going to inspect a new bridge. It was a windy, blustery night. Driving rain, as black as ink. Our sympathies were with old Tom Ludicott and his firemen up in the cab. There, with nothing but the narrow sides of the cab to protect them from the storm.
Give her more coal, Bill. We've got the Bonner grade ahead of us.
Let her wheels slip when we start taking that baby. Never did see such a night. You gotta watch you don't get blown out of the cab every time you cross the coupler to the tender.
Yeah, she's a bad one, all right. Been on many a trip in my 40 years as engineer, but this is the worst. How are we, on time?
Only 11 minutes late.
Well, that's pretty good for the sort of night it is. Let him feed her. We're coming to a bad cut in the road, and the wind will be twice as bad as we go through the draw.
Okay, Tom. Man alive, this firebox is glowing red with the heat. We've gained 2 minutes, Tom.
Good. We'll need it when we start up the parade.
Plenty steam. He's holding up fine. The way we're rocking, though, it's hard to read that water glass.
Bill!
Yeah?
Look!
What?
Is that a light? A red light?
Yeah. Somebody's waving a lantern.
Touch the steam!
Easy with the brakes. We're doing over 60.
Stay tuned. More of this Unsolved Mysteries coming up right after this break. And now, back to Unsolved Mysteries on When Radio Was.
What's wrong there?
Danger light, sir.
Where? Oh, yes, I'll go ahead.
Plunging through the rain and mud, John Stewart steps out along the roadbed. Ahead, he sees dimly in the light of the engine headlight a vague, shadowy figure holding a glowing red lantern.
Ahoy there! What's wrong?
The silent figure gives no answer, but motions with the lantern to the yawning chasm where had been a bridge. John Stewart stares horror-stricken at the foaming, tumbling waters of the raging torrent in the gorge below.
We might have plunged in there. We would have if it hadn't been for you.
You will tell them?
Tell them?
The company will mark it on my credit. Say that the company will mark it up for me.
I don't quite understand you. You're one of the company men?
Yes, that's right. I'm one of the old hands. I helped to lay this road there.
And your name?
Lem Turner. You tell them when you get back that Lem kept his word. Tell them to give me credit and let me rest. I've waited a long time. A long time.
I'll see that you get your credit. I'm John Stewart.
John Stewart? The vice president of the line.
Yes.
Then they'll do what you tell them. They'll do it. You see that I get credit.
I will. Personally.
John Stewart stumbled back to the train to tell the crew and passengers of the death they had missed.
What is it, sir?
Wait a minute. The bridge is out. We'll have another train sent out and reroute you over the Bonner section. There's no use to stand out here and get wet. The porters will make up the berths, and we'll wait till morning.
Well, who was it waving the lantern? I thought it must be Southey. He's on this section, but he's on the other side of the bridge.
No, it wasn't him. It was a queer old duck by the name of Lem Turner.
Lem Turner?
Yes. He said he was an old employee.
Old employee? Why, sir.
What's the matter? He looks sick.
Old Lem Turner's been dead 22 years.
What?
Yeah, hanged himself because he overran a signal and wrecked number 23.
Then the man I saw wasn't...
Lem always said that he'd come back and repay his debt, and I guess he has.
Yes, I guess he has.
In just a few minutes, you will hear a solution to the Bonner Bridge mystery. Ladies and gentlemen, inasmuch as any solution must of necessity be supposition, liberties of time, place, and character have been taken in the solution for which you have been waiting. Again, we're aboard the cracked train in the observation car where John Stewart continues his story.
Well, when I got back to the office, I had old Tom, the engineer, tell me the story. It seems that Lem Turner had overrun a signal, and the result was a wreck in which 50 people were killed.
He was charged with the offense?
Yes. But before he could be brought to trial, he killed himself. His friends and fellow workers said the last thing he had said to them was that he would repay the debt.
Had he been sent along the stretch of line before?
Oh, yes. Old Tom told me that all the men in the section knew about Lem's haunting the line, and I naturally asked him why he hadn't reported it.
What did he say to that?
He asked me what I would have said had he come in and reported a ghost haunting a railroad section. Well, I admitted the justice of his attitude, and then I went deeply into a possible explanation of the thing.
You found what?
That the best scientific authority explained the thing by saying that since Lem Turner's last thoughts were to the effect that he must atone for his carelessness, in all probability, his very definite and extraordinarily powerful thought lingered on after death.
Oh, almost like the photograph of a thought.
Exactly. Now, this thought, powerful and positive and definitely connected with what Lem looked like in life, accounts for his so-called ghost being seen haunting that section of railroad line.
It gives one the shivers, doesn't it? Imagine Lem Turner somewhere off in space, year after year, watching for an opportunity to repay his debt. Then the storm and the bridge.
I must go down by the old track. Can't tell what might happen on a night like this. you in a few minutes. There she comes. I must stop her. A light. A red light. I must stop her. I must.